Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Lone Wolf, the Masters of Darkness. And with me is Karzie.
Hello, that was quite the explosive intro. Like that even woke me up.
Yeah, I have to
you
energy.
Boom that hello, dude. It was like, oh my god.
Yeah, we have to get ourselves pumped up. This is our final of this particular series anyway. Building up to this.
Right.
So yeah, in the last episode, we completed the Prisoners of Time, which followed on, which was a complete sequel to the previous book. I don't remember what the hell the other book before that was called. Anyway, whatever it was called, it says here, Darklord Gnaag, he blasted those lore stones into that portal, and we fell into it, and we fell into the Daziarn plane, which is basically just a different land altogether in a completely separate part of the universe. They're going to a planet,
It's
maybe.
another plane of existence.
Something like that, yeah. I honestly don't know. Probably another plane of existence makes more sense. I mean, it kind of just says
It's called Daziarn plane, so
fucking phone call. Okay, give me a moment. Right, so, so we're in the Daziarn plane, so it says there, so it's probably another plane of existence, and,
yes.
When we first looked upon the desolate wastelands of the Daziarn, you recalled what little you had heard of the alien world, because there it says alien, so, you know, I was kind of thinking of a planet or some shit like that, but yeah. The magicians of Sommerland believed it to be an astral corridor connecting and binding the planet Magnamund to other planes of existence. See, this is the wording I don't get. So is it another plane, or is it another planet? Like, you know, it could be both. I don't know.
I'm gonna say it's a plane of existence, which is essentially. I mean, I would assume it's like essentially another planet. It's probably another planet, probably in another solar system.
Yeah, that's what.
It's essentially so far away. It's pretty much another plane of existence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
anyway.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I mean, is Daziarn, is it like Minecraft rules where you can never like reach the end? It's just you keep on flying further and further, and it
was apparently one way. So by passing through the Shadow Gate, one of which is situated below their guild hall in the city of Tauran, a person could gain entry into the Daziarn. However, all those who had been passed through the Shadow Gate of Tauran had never been seen again, prompting the magicians to believe that the journey could only be made in one direction. It was said that from the Daziarn there was no escape. Your vow to restore the Kai and your stubborn will to survive against all odds made you even more determined to recover the last two lore stones and find a way of returning to your home world. In the course of your search, you discovered that your fight against the forces of darkness was the focus of a greater conflict raging throughout all the planes of existence, and that the time had come when the actions of one individual would shape the future of every living thing. It came as a great revelation to discover that you were that individual, and we actually were told that by the god Kai. We actually met our creator, literally in this.
We did.
Hey,
he like teleported us somewhere, didn't he?
Yeah. So part of your destiny was fulfilled when you fought and defeated the Chaos Master, who was that big, ugly, pig-like melting thing. And he was like swinging branches around and shit. The thing with like the weird foot and claw. Yeah, that's the guy.
Like was it like one of his like fingers looked like a big toe or something like that?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So he was the leader of the evil force that threatened to conquer the Daziarn. You recovered one of the lore stones, and with the help of a godlike creature called Soroka, who had the fucking Foghorn Leghorn accent that we came up with, you were able to find the location of a Shadow Gate. Sorry, that would return you to your own world. Here your quest culminated in a battle with your old enemy, Vonatar the Traitor, who had found the last lore stone and who controlled the city wherein lay the Shadow Gate. He had intended to use the power of the lore stone to enable him to return the Magnamund, but your bravery and determination put paid to his plans. Put paid to his plans? Paid for his plans? What? I'm sure that's got to be. That must mean like put an end to it. There must be another definition for paid.
Yeah, that is strange.
So,
that's strange word usage there.
Yeah, it must be an old usage. So, in a desperate fight, on the very threshold of the Shadow Gate itself, you slew him and retrieved the last Lore Stone, thereby completing the Magnakai quest. Instantly, an overwhelming wave of power was transfused into your being, lifting you to a level of consciousness that transcended your mortal frame. You surrendered to this power, and under its guidance, you were drawn inexorably towards the Shadow Gate. Willingly, you stepped into the icy darkness and began your triumphant return to the world where you were born. Now, we do have 2 Lore Stones, so I'm wondering, do we get 2 extra skills? Since it's like 1 skill per Lore Stone. I don't know if that's exactly how it works. But anyway, let's skip on the game rules. This is the most interesting bit. So, Magnakai disciplines. So, if we go to our action chart, and we go to our abilities. So, we've only got 1 more space here. We've got all the disciplines save for 2. So, we still have Animal Control or Psi Surge. And we were saying to ourselves, Psi Surge was going to be the one to get because it would complete the Spirit Lore Circle, giving us 3 combat skill and 3 endurance points. And yeah, Psi Surge actually would have been very useful in the last book if we'd picked it. Because not only would it have helped us take on the Chaos Master, but do you remember those Shadow Reavers? Those ghostly things on the horses that attacked us right before we met the God Kai? I don't know if you remember that bit.
I think I do.
Yeah, they were called Shadow Reavers.
Does sound very familiar.
But basically, if we had Psi Surge, we could have engaged them in psychic combat. And do you remember those 2 psychic rings we had? We had a psychic ring and the grey crystal ring. That is literally the only place where those rings come into play in that one fight. And because we didn't have Psi Surge, we never got to use those rings.
What?
Yeah. It's really weird because you have to have Psi Screen to get past the first check, which we did have. But then Psi Surge is what lets us do the psychic combat. But because we didn't have it, we just fought them regularly. And we didn't do the psychic combat with those rings. So, we've got to remember to get rid of those 2 rings now because they're useless. So I went and bought it for no reason.
Why am I imagining psychic combat is just like something out of South Park when the kids are playing like superheroes? It's like, they're, it's just all invisible, imagination shit.
So yeah, Psi Surge completes our list, and we get the Spirit. Obviously, Animal Control is the 1 skill we'll never have. I can't remember if that's what we skipped out in the last book, like in the last series. Did we skip out Animal Friendship or Animal Kinship? I don't remember.
Look at Magnakai disciplines.
No, we'll have to go back because they've changed the list now.
Yeah.
Oh, actually no. Oh no, that's right. That's what we had last time.
Yeah, we did get Animal Kinship.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, so it must have been a different one we missed out. Oh.
Okay.
That's all cool. So we shall move on. So equipment. Yep, this is you.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yep.
Before you leave Tauran and begin your fateful mission, Banadon gives you a map of the Darklands and a pouch of gold. To find out how much gold is in the pouch, pick a number from the random number table and add 10 to the amount of it. We got 15.
Yes. All right, let's deposit just 10 of them. Yep.
Yada yada. Banadon also makes available a choice of equipment to help you survive the hostile enemy heartland for the voyage into the cold waters of Kaltersea. You are given special fur-lined clothing, sturdy boots, and a hooded cape made from waterproof Kalkoth hide. You may take 6 items from the following list to add to any you may already possess. However, remember that you can carry a maximum of 2 weapons and 8 backpack items. Even though we have like shit tons of backpack items. Aw, those poor rings.
Yeah, had to deposit them back because they're completely no use whatsoever.
Goodbye, rings.
Alright, so we'll take the quiver for now. We can get rid of it if we ever need space later on.
Yeah, we always end up getting a quiver. What else is there? Is there anything new?
Potion, lantern, mace, skills, dagger. No, just weapons, and I guess a potion is something to take. Deposit a meal.
Yeah, the usual potions and a meal.
I think I'll deposit
Nothing special.
2 of those meals as well. Let's take something else. We got the cult spice. Take some of these. I deposited the old meals and we're taking the new meals.
Yeah, let's eat the fresh stuff.
Alright. Everything
Tired of eating jerky and dried fish. Well, I guess dried fish is jerky, isn't it?
Just want to make sure
maybe
there's
not.
nothing
I
else to
don't know
deposit.
how that works.
Yeah, everything else.
Quiver, quiver, quiver. We have so many arrows.
I swear quivers can hold more than 6 arrows, but whatever.
I agree.
Then again, we barely get any pages using the bow. And you know me and the bow.
Oh, yeah. You always go for that bow option.
Alright, let's see what our new ability give us. So our new rank, rather, Archmaster. So, if we took the animal control, the Archmaster with the skill... Archmasters with the skill are able to command most animals to do their bidding, although effectiveness is diminished when attempting to control a hostile creature. Curing. Archmasters are able to use their healing power to repair serious wounds sustained in battle. If whilst in combat their endurance is reduced to 6 points or less, they can use their skill to restore 20 endurance points. This ability can be used once every 100 days. So yeah, if we ever get reduced to 6 points or less, just instantly back up to 20. Oh no, back up to 26.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get 1 save, like Nifa's Grace in Breath of the Wild. Hunt Mastery.
Never played that.
Okay, it's a good game. So Hunt Mastery. Archmasters who possess this ability benefit from greatly increased senses of hearing, smell, and night vision. These senses become even more acute upon attaining the rank of Kai Grandmaster. Okay, so that's just generic Hunt Mastery going up. Psy Surge. When using their psychic ability to attack an enemy, Archmasters may add 6 points to their combat skill instead of the usual 4. For every round in which Psy Surge is used, Archmasters need only deduct 1 endurance point. Yep.
Nice!
And when using the weaker psychic attack, Mind Blast, they may add 3 points to their combat skill without loss of endurance points. And Archmasters cannot use Psy Surge if their endurance score falls to 4 points or below. So yeah, it's basically just buffed up Psy Surge a bunch and reduced the drawback as well.
It makes it, yeah, the reducing of the drawback is what I think is the big upgrade.
Yeah.
Because we have such low health this entire time. I've been like, no, we shouldn't get that because, we don't have much health and we can't sacrifice health for more damage. But now that it's like, okay, that's a lot of damage and that's only 1 health. I think we can probably do that.
Oh yeah, we got this black button next to curing as well. So if we ever need to, we can activate 20 endurance points.
Oh.
Nice. And last of all is Nexus. Archmasters with the skill of Nexus are able to withstand extremes of heat and cold and possess a limited immunity to harmful elements such as flames, toxic gases, and corrosive liquids. The duration of this immunity increases greatly upon attaining Kai Grandmastership. Alright, and those are all of our extra abilities. Now,
we are strong.
This is just generic Magna Kai Wisdom. So here we actually are going to try to destroy Darklord Gnaag. So he's the big bad that's been fucking around with us the entire book. Or the entire series, I should say. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. Action required. What? Oh, we need a new weapon mastery. Okay.
Oh, we actually completely forgot.
Short sword or warhammer? It literally makes no difference.
Short sword, because it's like a dagger. Yeah, I guess.
I'm happy with that. Let's begin.
Yeah.
Alright, number 1. So this is following immediately after, I think, after we entered the Shadow Gate. Upon entering the Shadow Gate, you are submerged in total darkness and fall into a lightless void. Relentlessly, you are buffeted and numbed by an intense coldness that drains the strength from your body and fills your mind with strange, dreamlike images. It is as if you are being sucked into the heart of a swirling black abyss, and, as your senses fade, you pray that you have enough strength to survive your return to Magnamund. Barely a flicker of consciousness remains when the sensation of warmth returns to your frozen limbs. It revives you, and slowly you become aware of a fluorescent mist and a pinpoint of light in the far distance. The sensation of falling is replaced by a smooth forward movement, as if you are gliding to a halt at the end of a steep slide. Rapidly, the tiny lights grow larger until suddenly you emerge from the darkness and find yourself standing in a place that you recognize immediately. Pick a number from the random number table. If you pick a 0, it counts as 10. The number you have picked represents the number of endurance points you lost during your passage through the Shadow Gate. Wow, already we're going to take a hit. That's a decent hit.
Okay, it's only 4. Yeah, we'll be fine.
And turn to 94. There you go, already most of it's recovered.
With your heart pounding in anticipation, you cast your gaze around the gray granite walls of the subterranean vault. Your journey through the Shadow Gate has returned you to the land of your birth. You are standing in the externment chamber, a room located deep below the guild hall of the Crystal Star in Tauran. Facing you, and illuminated by a glow of several tall candles, is a line of throne-like seats. 2 men, both attired in silken robes, are seated at the center of the row, their heads bowed and their hands clasped in silent prayer. The sound of your footsteps stirs them from their meditations, and as they raise their heads, you recognize the face of your friend, Banadon, and your tutor, Lord Rima, speaker for the High Council of the Elder Magi. Hey, they were just praying for us, and we just appeared at the right time.
Or they could have been snoozing, and we just disturbed them.
Oh, this is their nap chamber?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what they sounded like.
That's fine.
The gods be praised! Breathes Rima, his eyes wide with astonishment. Skan has returned! The prophecy is fulfilled! Slowly they rise and step forward to greet you, their movements hesitant and uncertain, scarcely able to believe that you are alive. Calmly, you assure them that they are not dreaming, and that you have indeed survived your exile to the Daziarn plane, and have returned more determined than ever to avenge yourself upon Darklord Gnaag. Eagerly, Roma and Banadon listen to your recount of your experiences in the Daziarn. And when you have finished, they tell you what has befallen Magnamund during your absence. Although it seems that you spent little more than a few days in the Daziarn, more than 8 years have passed since Gnaag caused you to fall into the Shadow Gate of the Torgar. He was quick to proclaim your death, says Banadon, unfurling a map of the northern Magnamund upon the floor of the chamber. The news came as a terrible blow to us all. Lord Rima kneels down and points at the map, indicating the city of Torgar with the tip of the slender crystal root. After your disappearance, Lord Aramas was killed, and the allied armies were quickly ejected from Torgar. Gnaag declared himself invincible, and in the wake of his victory the Darklands defeats were soon halted throughout central Magnamund. A terrible sense of hopelessness befell the allies, which was exploited the full by the malevolent Gnaag. His sorcerers, the Nazarium, created devices they called the Tazantukar to enable each of the Darklands to survive the territories outside their accursed realm. Darklands, Dark Lords. Oh my god, I can't read today. Previously, they have been unable to survive beyond the Darklands for any great length of time, and during these rare brief excursions, their powers were greatly reduced. Now they are able to lead their armies in battle personally. and they have been eager to exercise their newfound freedom. The war against the Dark Lords is all but lost, continues Banadon, his eyes cast down at the map, which is covered with black markers indicating the frightening number of countries Gnaag has added to his empire. With the help of our allies in Durnor, Summerlin has so far resisted his attempts at invasion. But now we find ourselves cut off from Durnor's aid by a blockade of Darklord warships. Here, he says, pointing to the Gulf of Halanog, is where the Gnaag have constructed a huge naval base. It is called Argazad, and it is from here that he launches his fleet of ironclad warships to blockade our coast. The Summerlin Navy is no match for the monstrous sea machines, and without the troops, food, and weapons we have been receiving by sea from Durnor, our days are numbered. Lord Roma rises to his feet and stares fixedly into your eyes. Your skill, bravery, and your vow to avenge the death of the Kai are key to our salvation. Only you, Lone Wolf, can save us now. You are our only hope in this hour of darkness.
God damn. Just because we went away, or Lone Wolf went away, the entire war effort just went to shit. God damn. We were carrying them the entire way through.
Oh man, come on. We were gone just for like a measly 8 years. They couldn't just hold on to shit for 8 years.
Apparently not. See, as far as we're concerned, we left for like a couple of days and they just let the entire place go to shit.
Oh God, why? We were only gone just a little bit. Just a little bit.
3 months ago, on the day that you some lending celebrate your feast of Ferman, I foresaw in a dream your return to this world. The place and the hour of your coming, says Rimoa, reverently. I and all my brothers held this dream to be a sign from the god Kai that you had not died at Torgar. And since that day we have prepared for your return, so that we may help you fulfill your vow, and deliver us all from the tyranny of the Dark Lords. With the aid of Guildmaster Banadon, we have conceived a plan that can secure a lasting victory. Defeat of the Dark Lords on the field of battle is now impossible. The allied armies are greatly outnumbered and are hard-pressed to protect what little remains of the Freelands. The only way in which we can rid ourselves of this evil is by destroying Gnaag and the Transfusor, the device that transmits power to the Tanaz Tukur. Both of them are in Helgadad. To hear the name of that foul city spoken aloud is enough to send a shiver down your spine, and the thought of daring to venture there to destroy its ruler fills you with a cold dread. It's a daunting task that we ask you to attempt, Lone Wolf, says Banadon, sensing your anxiety. But only you have any hope of succeeding in this desperate mission. It may be of some comfort to learn that, with the Dark Lords leading their armies in the field, the defences of the Black City are now at their weakest. Only Gnaag and his second-in-command, Darklord Tactile, reside there at the present. You spoke of a plan, you say, returning your gaze to the wise face of Lord Rimoa. Without replying, he bends down and pulls out a leather sack from beneath the chair on which you sat when you entered the chamber. It contains what appears to be a mass of triangular crystals that are fused together. At once you recognize its purpose. It is a powerful charge, similar to the one which Lord Adamas used to destroy the Torgar Gate. Oh, it's that big triangular explosion.
Ah. The magical explosion.
Yeah. This will put paid to the Transfusor, says Rimoa, holding up the crystal explosive. He points to a shard that is longer than the others and informs you that the device is activated by withdrawing and reinserting it tip first into the core. It must be placed beneath the Transfusor, and it will detonate exactly 15 minutes after it is primed. There's even a digital timer on the side for you to see the countdown.
It's just a jerry-rigged, like, microwave.
Yeah, pretty much. Carefully, he replaces the explosive into the sack and offers it to you. But how am I to gain entry to Helgadad? You ask, as you accept the deadly package tentatively. "We've made preparations," answered Banadin, pointing once more to the map. "A caravel is anchored in Tauran Harbour. Under cover of darkness, it will run the blockade, then head east to deceive the enemy into thinking that it's bound for Durinor. When safe to do so, it will turn about and steer a course for Dej Kata. The shallows there are free of pack ice at this time of the year, and the captain should be able to land you on the coast close to the Arnuk estuary. From there, you must make your way on foot to the stronghold of Arnuk and seek out the Slave Master. He is one of our agents and can be trusted. Make yourself known to him by saying the words, 'Sommerland is burning.' He alone knows where in Helgadad the transfuser is located, and he can arrange for your safe and secret passage into the city. Once inside, you must destroy Gnaag and the transfuser as quickly as possible." "And once the task is complete, how then do I effect an escape?" you ask. "You must make your way back to Arnuk. The demise of the Darklords will announce the success of your mission, and we shall then mount an expedition to bring you safely home. But until then, no one must know your true identity or the reason for your journey to Helgadad. Silently, you contemplate the awesomeness of this mission, its dangers, and the terrible consequences that will befall Magnamund should you fail. At length, you raise your eyes from the map and force a smile. "When must I leave?" you ask bravely. "Tomorrow night," Banadin replies, "an hour after sunset. Mark the crystal explosive on your action chart as a special item that you carry strapped to your backpack. If you already carry the maximum number of special items, you must discard one in favor of the crystal explosive. If you possess the summer sword, 282. If you do not possess the special item, 229. So let's go to 282.
Did you click on explosives? Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good. If you possess summer sword... Oh, okay. Please tell me we get to keep it. You wield a weapon imbued with great power, Lone Wolf, says Rema, glancing at the summer sword sheath at your side. Be sure to use it well. Now that you possess the wisdom of the lore stones, you will discover new strengths within its golden blade. It is the bane of the Dark Lords, the instrument of their destruction. Yet, by the very nature of its power, it can alert them to your presence and betray your identity. He reaches to his waist and unbuckles a seemingly plain leather sword belt and scabbard. I have prepared this scabbard from materials impregnated with coralinium. It will contain and keep hidden the powers of the summer sword, he says, handing you the accoutrements. Remember, to unsheathe the summer sword inside the Darklands is to light a beacon of warning that Gnaag and his minions will surely see. Only when you have Gnaag within striking distance shall you draw your blade to seal his doom. You discard your old scabbard in favor of Ramoa's, and take heed of his advice. Mark the Corium scabbard as a special item in your action chart. You need not discard another item in your favor if you already carry the maximum number of special items allowed. Okay, so we have a little note here for the Colonium Scabbard. Use of the Summer Sword. You may continue to use the Summer Sword in combat, but once you reach the Darklands, you must unequip the weapon and use a different weapon to fight. If you find a section where the only available option is to use the Summer Sword, it means you forgot to unequip it. Unequipping it will open the other options. Alright, so we can use the Summer Sword for now. Yeah. But we have to remember to unequip it.
Yes. So later on, we'll unequip the Summer Sword and then we'll replace it with a different weapon. We'll probably use the Scarlet Warrior Sword or something.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, I forgot we had another weapon, like another melee weapon.
Yeah, so this thing is sort of like Frodo's sword that glows with orcs, except ours is going to glow when there's Darklords or something evil. And obviously, if we're in the Darklands, it's always going to glow because there's evil everywhere. It's like the Master Sword, actually. Think about it.
I was thinking it was more like the Eye of Sauron would like sense it, like Lord Gnaag would like sense it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh my god, it's
he'd
nearby.
He'd sense it because it's a good item, and obviously, like, it's bad for him. So it will just basically be a massive. When he says it's a beacon, he literally means it'll be like a lighthouse. It's just gonna light up so bright because you're in the Darklands, and obviously it needs the power to repel them. So it's just going to be like a target on your back. So we're not going to use it when we get there until we get to Gnaag. So anyway, you pass the time prior to your departure, resting and reviewing the mission in fine detail. Eventually, the hour of your leaving arrives, and Banadin and Rimoa escort you to the Tauran harbour, and see you safely aboard the caravel Intrepid. Before they disembark, Banadin hands you a sealed envelope, and a golden amulet on a chain. "Wear this for your protection," he says, as he fastens the chain around your neck. "It will keep you safe from the heat and poisonous atmospheres that pervade your destination. Mark the golden amulet on your action chart as a special item. You need not discard another item in its favour if you already carry the maximum quota." That's a pretty cool chart.
It is. Looks very religious, though.
Probably magical. "And the envelope!" you say quizzically. Neither Captain Borse nor his volunteer crew are aware of your identity or the vital nature of your voyage. All they know is that they are expected to break through the blockade and carry you safely to Duranor. When you are clear of the enemy, hand this envelope to the captain. It contains his new orders to steer a course for the Arnak estuary. He is a fine captain. You can trust in his skill and the bravery of his crew to see you through the dangerous waters of the Calta Sea. Moments later, the captain emerges from his cabin. A grey and grizzled old seaman, he sports a leather cloak that swings easily from his broad, muscular shoulders. He welcomes you aboard with a ready smile and firm handshake, then excuses himself in order to supervise the final preparations for the voyage. "May the gods Kai and Ishir watch over you, Lone Wolf," whispers Lord Rimoa, as he and Banadin make ready to disembark. "And grant us a lasting victory over the forces of darkness." 325.
325. The night wind is blowing in your favor as Captain Boris is keen to put to sea without delay. He has ordered the crew to run up every foot on canvas and canvas, and that's the interpret will bear, so that she will approach the Darklord warships that blockade the coast at full speed. With luck, she will slip through their line before they have a chance to close formation. It is a bold plan, but the captain and his crew have run the blockade more than a dozen times in the past year, and they are confident that tonight they will also be successful. Guided by the stars and the distant glimmer of the moonlit shore, the Intrepid?
Yeah.
Intrepid makes rapid headway through the waters of the Tauran Gulf. As it nears the open sea, you decide to offer your services as a lookout and go in search of Captain Borse. You find him on the forecastle deck with a group of keen-eyed Carillion Marines who are scanning the blackness for some sign of the enemy. If you had the Magpie Discipline Hunt Mastery and reach a rank of Arc Master, go to 47, which is what we do.
Yay. Your greatly improved Magnakai skill enables you to see a string of dark shapes on the distant horizon. Enemy ships. The 5 squat, ugly-looking vessels all lack sails or masts, or any other visible forms of propulsion, yet each moves at a constant and rapid pace. Quickly, you inform the captain of what you can see, and urge him to change direction, for the Intrepid is now heading on a collision course with the vessel at the centre of the enemy line. Pick a number from the random number table. If you completed the Lost Circle of the Spirit, add 3 to the number you've picked. Please tell us who we have. Yes, we do. Oh, we just got it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yes. 6 or more.
6 or more. Guided by your instructions, Captain Borse commands his helmet to steer hard to a port and maneuvers so that he will take the Intrepid clear of the enemy line. Swiftly, the ship changes course, and you watch the dark line ironclads looming larger with each passing minute, and note of the formidable array of weapons aboard their steel-skinned decks. Huge black funnels protrude from the middle of each craft, which emit a cloud of choking sulfurous smoke as the Intrepid rounds the last ironclad in the line. This as seared smoke wafts across the water and engulfs the crew, causing them to cough and retch violently. The sound of their coughing alerts the enemy lookouts who immediately raise the alarm. Suddenly, after we look at the ships,
Okay.
wow.
I'm trying to see like how the smoke is. It doesn't seem that thick. But, you know, they're polluting the atmosphere, global warming and all that shit. Probably 8 years of
we're
global
not
warming.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
We are
Bad dark
we are
lords.
environmental wolf. Suddenly, a flash of blue-white light illuminates the bow of the ironclad, and the fiery projectile arcs across the sky towards the Intrepid. Pick a number from the random number table. Oh,
Okay.
we got the low one. Turn to
Although,
20.
Sometimes it's good because normally the low ones are bad only when you can add a number for a skill. So when there's nothing to add on, it could be either way. So, but for some reason, like 0 to 6 is more likely, 7 to 9 is less likely. So maybe 0 to 6 is the good one. I'm hoping anyway.
I mean, I'm hoping too, but I'm also wondering, like, what skill do we have? Like, if they're basically launching some magical cannon at us.
It's luck, literally. So we're gonna see where it lands.
Okay.
So you throw yourself to the deck as the missile drops like a meteor from the sky. It passes overhead, between the main and mizzen masts, then hits the water with a tremendous splash. Oh, right, so it missed. The other enemy vessels start to turn to bring their weapons to bear, but the heavy iron ships are slow and cumbersome, and by the time they have altered position, the Intrepid is out of range and sailing at speed into the dully gleaming waters of the Calta Sea. Alright, we got the good option. I'm pretty sure that 7 to 9 is a hit.
As the last of the enemy warships disappears into the dark, the crew gives a rousing cheer. Once more, they have risked their lives to run the blockade, and once again, they live to tell the tale. The captain requests a damage report, and it is relieved to hear that both his ships and crew have survived. Both his ship and crew, not ships, not plural. I can read. Have survived the close encounter at little cost. Before leaving the forecastle, he reminds the lookouts to remain vigilant. Sometimes the enemy place a second line of ironclad behind a few miles behind the first in order to catch blockade runners that slip through. He bids you good night, and as he descends the stairs to his cabin, he orders the first mate to show you your quarters at the stern. If you wish to accompany the first mate, go there. If you wish to hand the captain the envelope containing his new orders, go there. Well, we're not there yet, though. I thought we had to wait until we got there, or did we just have to wait until we outran the first wave?
Yeah, so it's a distraction. So they want to think. We're trying to make them think that we're running a supply line, but after we go through the blockade, we're actually going to change direction. So we should be handing the envelope now.
Okay. All right, handing in the envelope.
What have we here? Muses the captain warily as he accepts your envelope. Guildmaster Bannerton instructed me to deliver this into your charge as soon as we cleared the blockade, you reply. It contains confidential details about our voyage to Duranor. I'm sure the matter can wait till morning, he says, slipping the envelope into the pocket of his gold-braided jacket. You'd best get some sleep. We could be in for some rough weather come sunrise. You insist that he read the contents of the letter without delay, but he dismisses your request with a flick of his calloused hand. It can wait. A few hours will make no odds. He snaps, and then he sends the stairs before you can argue otherwise. What a prick. If you wish to accompany the first mate to your cabin, turn to 24. If you decide to stay on the forecastle with the lookouts, turn to 115. I think we should be on the lookout because we should not be out here anymore.
You don't want to get a good rest first?
No, because we're going to get fucked over. If we go to sleep, we're going to get attacked.
If your spider sense is tingling, then I'll trust it.
Yeah, because he's not following the instruction. We should be changing direction now. So if we carry on, we'll probably hit the second blockade.
Oh.
I want to be on the lookout.
The lookouts are naturally curious about the only passenger aboard the ship, especially as he keeps company with Guildmaster Banadon, the most highly respected magician in Summerland. They question you keenly about your mission to Daziarn, but when you insist that you are sworn to secrecy, they pursue the matter no further. With you, at least. What do you reckon he's doing here? Oh, he's here to probably save the world. You learn that they hail from the Carillion Isles. A fiefdom farmed for its brave and oh my god. The fiefdom famed for its brave and intrepid seafarers, whose ships have protected the coast of Summerland for more than 1,000 years. It shocks you deeply to learn that during your exile in the Daziarn, the Darklords have destroyed the Carillion fleet and laid waste to the once fertile islands.
Just isles.
Listen, Freya Isles from the back, Gnaag, growls one of the disgruntled sailors. The others echo his sentiment, but behind their bravado you sense their fear that they may never live to see their islands free again. A brooding silence descends on the deck, and you decide it would be wise to get some rest before dawn breaks. One of the shipmates volunteers to show you to your quarters, and you accept his help gratefully.
Oh, that's a completely optional scene. Optional page, rather, because we just puts us back here.
We mingled.
Yeah. The mate leads you through the bowels of the ship to your quarters near the stern. You are hoping for some degree of comfort, but the cabin turns out to be cramped and smelly, sandwiched between the galley and the bilge. Despite the lack of space, and a stomach-churning smell redolent of dead fish, you manage to catch a few hours' sleep before the grey dawn haze filters through the glass of the cabin's solitary porthole. Desperate for fresh air, you make your way up to the forecastle, where you find the captain, standing alone at the rail, reading the contents of the envelope. "'Tis a brave, risky adventure you committed yourself to, comrade," he says, without raising his eyes from the parchment, clutched in his gloved hands. "Yet these be risky times. I can only guess at what lies beyond your journey to the Daziarn. But of one thing you can be sure. I will do all in my power to see us safely there." Immediately, he issues orders to turn the ship about and steer a new course, north by northwest. The crew react to the sudden change of plan with great speculation. Yet, despite the dangers they know they may have to face, none challenge their captain's decision or voice dissent. 241.
For 2 days and nights, the Intrepid. Can I?
Yeah.
What is it?
Intrepid.
Oh, I'm saying it right? Okay. Intrepid forges a course through stormy waters, running ahead of a chill wind that sweeps down from the glaciers of Kalt in the north. The sea becomes increasingly hazardous, with sleet, squalls, and lightning storms that break without warning. Yet the dawn of the third day heralds a sudden change in the weather. Fog, a windless, soundless, gray, forbidding damp that cuts off eyesight at arm's length and leaves the crew soaked and shivering. Many stare enviously at your Kalkoth hide cloak as they attend to their early morning duties in quiet discomfort. Curse this fault. Oh no, that's not sea bearing. Brain work. Whatever.
I just go for Captain Barbosa in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, curse this fog! Grumbles Captain Porce, staring helplessly at the clammy mist that holds up his sharp holds his ship beclaimed. Better a gale or a quarry storm than this. For countless hours, the ship lies dormant, rocking gently on the cold, listless sea. staring at the wall of fog. It is easy to imagine all manner of creatures lurking within. The eerie silence does little to allay the superstitious fears of the crew. When suddenly the quiet is disturbed by a shoal of red-finned sea carp. More than one man cries out in shocked surprise. If you possess the Magpie discipline of animal control, turn to page 305, which we don't have. It's the one we
always come back to bite us.
Yeah.
From the crow's nest, there comes a scream of abject horror. It echoes down the rigging, alerting all to a great scaly head that has broken through the surface, 20 yards off the port bow. Zargath! The lookout's cry is taken up by the crew, as, one by one, they glimpse the fearful sight of this legendary terror of the Celtic. Ishir preserve us! Oh wait, no. Ishir preserve us! Gasps Captain Boss, as the beast opens its jaws, revealing the glitter of its jagged, razor-sharp fangs. For a moment, he is stunned by the terrifying sight, but quickly he recovers and begins shouting urgent orders to his awestruck crew. Man the balusters! Break out the bellhooks! All hands stand by to defend the ship! Take a look at this big thing. Zargath.
Oh, wow, that's cool
scarier.
Looking. I mean, I've seen scarier, but it is cool looking.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just by this book standards. I mean, we had a Chaos Master. I'm not going to be impressed by anything now.
I just can't go back once you lived through what I lived through. I mean,
I'm telling you, man, that thing gave me nightmares. This thing will give me sweet dreams. The Zargath observes the commotion in silence, its hooded eyes aglow with baleful green fire, as calmly it considers the moment to attack. Then, with an awful suddenness, it rises from the sea, roaring and hissing angrily, and lunges forward. Captain Boss gives the order to fire, and a volley of ballista bolts sink into the monster's scaly throat. Undeterred, it presses its attack, and it falls upon the port beam with a devastating effect. Tortured timbers bend and crack asunder. In seconds, the deck is torn apart by huge claws, each as long as a mammoth's tusk. Then, the cavernous, fang-filled mouth sweeps down through the fog to snap shut upon the forecastle. Screams of pain and terror fill the air as it withdraws, soaring upward above the masts, jaws bulging with a dozen wriggling bodies. You take cover behind the ship's longboat with the captain and prepare to defend yourself as the Zargath returns for a second strike. If you have a bow and wish to use it, turn to 270. If you possess the summer sword and wish to use it, turn to 192. And if you choose to unsheath a hand weapon, turn to 344.
Oh, it's giving us a choice between summer sword and bow.
Yeah, I'm going to use the bow.
I think you're going to go for bow, though. Yeah,
I'm going to justify
I
having
already
quiver.
knew. Yeah. You load and take aim at the beast's massive head as it swings low across the deck, smashing and crushing all before it. Its scaly hide looks as tough as the steel plate, and you search desperately for a part that may be vulnerable to an arrow. Your heart pounds, and your face is drenched in cold sweat as the Zargath, its jaws agape, swings back its head and lunges straight at you. If you have the Magpie discipline of animal control and divination.
Nope.
Let's just rub in that alcohol to that wound of that one skill that you didn't get.
It's fine. We'll be fine. The great sea beast roars, and a blast of putrid breath blows you away from the longboat, rolling you over and over like a leaf in the storm. Pain lances through your shoulder as you glance off the main mast and crash against the ship's starboard rail. Lose 2 endurance points. Your bow is still gripped firmly in your hand, and as you struggle to your feet, you draw a fresh arrow and take aim once more at the monster's head. If you wish to fire at the creature's eye, turn to 82. In the mouth, 236. Or if you wish to fire at the creature's ear, 135. What do you think?
Oh, I'd say the best option's the eye.
Yep, same here.
You want to go for the eye?
Yep, 82.
Okay, for the eye. Your arrow spirals towards the Zargath's eye, and to your astonishment, splinters to matchwood against its stone-hard corona, not
Cornea.
corona, cornea. Oh my god, I did pass high school. I can read. I should know this. All my biology teachers are I mean, if there's any dead ones, are just like rolling in their graves, shaking their heads.
Yeah, what just happened now with the Zargath is just like what happened in Superman Returns when they shot him in the eye and the bullet just crumples against his eye.
Oh.
I'm gonna insert that clip. That's basically what just happened.
Oh no. I mean, if we can't damage its eye, then chances are we probably couldn't damage much else. There's not much softer spots than the eye.
Well, one of those options would be good. I don't think it's the mouth. It's probably going to be the ear.
Maybe.
Probably should have chosen
Maybe
that.
it was the ear. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Alright. Cursing your misfortune, you reach for a hand weapon as the creature advances unceasingly. Its jaws widening as it prepares to swallow you whole.
The creature strikes and you dive aside, inches from a gruesome death in its powerful jaws. Snapping repeatedly, it twists its supple neck to follow your escape across the shattered, body-strewn planks, and lunges again when you reach the stairs that lead to the stern deck. This time you save your skin by pulling yourself into the rigging, and as you are climbing aloft, you see the Zargath crash through the stairs and into the hull. It tries to withdraw its head, but it cannot. It is held firm, trapped among the splintered timbers. This may be your only opportunity to defeat this terror, before it breaks free and drags the ship to the bottom of the sea. If you wish to attack the Zargath while its head is trapped in the wreckage, turn 35. If you wish to avoid combat by hiding in the crow's nest, turn to 277.
Run and hide!
Why that? Oh, I'm always going to hide up here in the crow's nest. You guys deal with the Zargath.
I'm lone wolf. I'm not lone fish or lone shark or anything. The sea is you guys. I'm for the forest.
I'm not crew wolf. I'm lone wolf. I'm not part of your crew. All right, let's fight. We gotta fight it. We're gonna die if we don't. Go.
Ooh, oh my god! I just looked at numbers. You swing clear of the rigging. You swing clear of the rigging and leap astride the Zargath's neck, but it senses your presence and twists and bucks like a wild stallion to unseat you. Grimly, you cling onto its scaly hide, stabbing repeatedly at its ears and spine in hope of disabling it before it breaks free. In desperation, it tries to dislodge you, using its massive foreclaws to scratch its neck in an attempt to hook you away. This creature is immune to Mind Blast, but not Psi Surge. You can evade combat at any time by climbing the main mast and hiding in the crow's nest. Or we win combat. That's a lot of endurance. I mean, that ain't shit for combat skill, but damn, that's a lot of endurance.
Alright, I've turned off Psi Surge, because we don't really need it.
Okay.
That way we're not losing any endurance every round. 39 combat ratio. Yes, a good start. That could be an instant kill. Yep.
No fucking way.
100 hit points are down. I mean, it was always going to happen. Combat skill of 10.
Wow.
Coming in clutch. You strike your killing blow and leap to the deck as, with a final burst of strength, the Zargath pulls its head free of the wreckage. Its green eyes roll back into their sockets, and it lets out a scream so loud that you are forced to cover your ears for fear of being permanently deafened. The scream grows louder until, with a mighty splash, the creature topples sideways and rolls off the deck into the fog-wreathed sea.
Oh. I can't believe we just one-shot that fucking thing.
Yep.
The Zargath sinks swiftly beneath the icy waters. Its tail breaks the surface and slapping the swirling foam. And then, it too is gone. trailing the creature's lifeless body as it spirals 100 fathoms to its final resting place at the bottom of the Karzie. An eerie silence descends upon the shattered decks of the Intrepid. As few who have survived the attack stare in horror at the swirling, blood-stained sea. Then begin the cries of the injured, and those who are still able to stand begin the grim task of recovering bodies and staunching wounds. You help with the search and find Captain Boris lying near the ship's longboat. He is unconscious and badly injured. Both his legs have been broken, and at the thigh by one swipe of the monster's tail. You attempt to revive him with your basic high healing skills, but he is in deep shock and does not respond. If you possess the Magic discipline of curing, go there. If you do not possess a skill, go there. Yay for healing!
Shock, as a result of his severe leg injuries, has reduced the captain's blood pressure to a dangerously low level. Your mastery of the discipline of curing enables you to increase his blood pressure gently to ensure that his brain is not starved of its vital supply of oxygen. Once he is stable, the first mate, whose name is Daziarn, helps you splint the captain's legs and construct a makeshift stretcher on which to carry him to his cabin. Slowly, he regains consciousness, and although he is in great pain, he insists on speaking.
Daziarn,
He says through gritted teeth.
the ship's under your command now. You must do all you can to see that our passenger reaches his destination.
Dutifully, the first mate promises to obey the captain's order.
Open the chest,
The captain says, motioning with his eyes to a large casket resting at the foot of his bunk. You oblige and discover that it contains a vest made of finely crafted Bronin chainmail and a pair of engraved silver braces designed to protect the forearms during combat.
Take them, friend, he says. They may be of some help to you on your journey.
The Bronin vest adds 3 points to your combat skill. Oh man, I can't pick it up. And 1 to your endurance. The silver braces add 2 points to your combat skill and 1 to your endurance. If you wish to keep either or both, the Bronin vest or the silver braces, mark them on your action chart special items, which you wear accordingly.
We can't?
We need to get rid of the quiver with the 3 arrows. We're always going to get rid of it. Hey, I need to drop it one by one. Arrow one by one.
Just dropping it at the captain's quarters as he's like, bleeding out. Sorry, I gotta drop this to pick this up.
You already have on armor of this type. Discard armor to pick this up. Oh, do I have to get rid of the chainmail waistcoat? How much does the chainmail give us? 2 combat. Ooh. No, I do want it, but we've got chainmail waistcoat, which is a bit better. Oh, but we do have the padded leather waistcoat.
What's that 1 CS mean again?
Combat skill.
Oh, derp.
Yeah, so Bronin vest will give us 3 combat skill and 1 endurance. The silver, actually, the silver braces we can definitely take those. Silver braces. Here we go. Yeah. That should have increased our combat skill and endurance points. 32. That's good. Okay. So the Bronin vest, it's basically an alternative to the chainmail waistcoat, whereas it gives the Bronin vest will give you more combat skill but less endurance. Now, I did want to take the Bronin vest as well, but we need to drop something else. I mean, I could drop another quiver, I guess.
I mean,
I can always pick up more quivers later on. I swear we got something stored.
I'm wondering, like, can we still wear both of them, or are we just?
I don't know if we can wear both of them, but I do like the idea of just being able to switch between them. If I ever need to get more combat skill.
Okay. We'll probably forget to use it, like, whatever combat skill potions we have.
Wait, you already have on armor of this type. Discard armor to pick this up. You fucking... I just got rid of that for nothing. Oh, you bloody... I think I have to get rid of the chainmail waistcoat to get the Bronin vest.
Do you want
I'd rather keep the chainmail waistcoat because it gives us the endurance. And I just got rid of a fucking quiver for no reason.
That's alright. We got 6 more arrows.
6 arrows is fine. Not like we're gonna use them all.
You think we're gonna use them all in one book? I don't think we've ever gone through. Well, no.
Yeah, like the most we've ever done is
time,
like one quiver's worth of arrows.
No, there was
even
one
that.
book where it was like 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like one book, it had like a good amount of them.
Mhm.
But that was every other book was like, okay, use one.
All right. Yeah, it's you next.
3260. Before you can thank the captain for his generosity, he laughs into merciful unconsciousness that spares him the pain of his injuries. Having done what you can to make him comfortable, you return to the deck to survey the damage. Over half the crew have been killed or injured in the attack, and the ship herself is badly mauled. The mainmast is down. The sails hang in tatters. There is a gaping hole that stretches along the port beam to within a few feet of the waterline. What does Devon sell like? We can patch up the canvas and work on the ship on a skeleton crew, says Devon, peering over the splintered rail. But if we catch a storm this far out at sea, we're all done for.
Hey. For the following 2 days and nights, the Intrepid remains a prisoner of the windless fog. Devon and his crewmen work tirelessly to repair the ship, and come the morning of the third day, when a gentle breeze arises with the dawn, the main mast is secure, and the sails are patched and ready to carry the ship onward. With the port side still holed, and storms a constant threat in the open reaches of the Celtic Sea, it has been decided that the safest course to steer is towards the coast. Then, should a sudden squall threaten or a gale arise, the ship could run to shelter in one of the hundreds of coves that indent the rugged shore east of the Point Vashna. However, to sail along this stretch of coastline is to risk hazards that could prove as dangerous as any storm. Darkland ironclads, unstable in high seas, favour the coast when venturing to and from their base at Argazad, and the cliffs and shores themselves are peppered with watchtowers and Gyak encampments. By early afternoon, the fog has cleared and the Intrepid is making good headway through the cold, sparkling waves. League after glittering league fall away to the stern, until an hour or two before sunset. The lookout catches sight of the coast. "Land ahoy!" he calls. "Land for the bow!" The crew are cheered by the news, feeling safer now that they are within sight of land, but their spirits are soon dampened when the lookout calls out again, this time in alarm. "Enemy off the starboard bow!" And we should end it there because we've reached the hour mark. We're actually gone a bit over. And that's a good place to give some suspense for what's going to happen next time.
Oh, we found an enemy. What's it gonna be? Cliffhanger moments.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we've begun our journey into the Darklands. We're not quite there yet, so we can still use our summer sword. But we've actually got a skeleton crew now, and we've now that I think about it, Lone Wolf has got more of his companions killed. Anyone who travels with Lone Wolf gets killed.
Yeah, that seems to be the running theme. Yeah.
Yep.
We gotta be a lone wolf for a reason, I guess. We're just the only one that survives.
But hopefully next time we can beat the enemies without losing any more of the crew. And
that would be a good thing. But I think hopefully next time we'll remember to just unequip the summer sword, because aren't we in the Darklands now essentially?
We haven't
just reached the shore of it, haven't we?
Yeah, but I'm gonna say, once we reach land, then I'll unequip the summer sword. But you can always unequip it right before the option where it forces you to use it. So I can always do that.
Oh, we could cheese the system.
Oh, it's not really cheesing it. It's just telling us what we have to physically do. Because normally you wouldn't do this in the regular book, because obviously you can just say that you haven't equipped it. But obviously with a system like this, you have to physically unequip it by pressing the button. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, everyone. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time in the Masters of Darkness. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Oh, bye-bye.